I knew I had to keep this baby. I just knew, and I didn't know why, but I just had this feeling in my heart and my soul that I had to keep this baby. When I was 12 weeks pregnant, my boyfriend broke up with me after I decided to continue on with our pregnancy against his wishes and what he wanted me to decide. So I found myself alone and pregnant and not really sure where to turn. When I received the love box, I was at probably the lowest point I've ever been. So when I opened the love box and it immediately said "Brave Girl," I just burst into tears. And then I started looking through and saw there's a little placard in it that explains a little bit about Embrace Grace. And I was blown away that this even existed for women. And then I started reading some of the women's stories, and they were so similar to mine that I just knew that I had to participate in something like this. I already was going through so much in my personal life, fear and doubt and questioning if I had made the right decision with keeping my pregnancy. So when I went to my first Embrace Grace meeting, I was petrified. I told myself, just try it this one time, go to one meeting, and if it's meant to be and if you like it, you can continue, but this is all you have to do is go to this one meeting. And when I got there, I was almost in tears just walking through the door because I was just so scared and I just felt so anxious. And yes, it's through a church and they're saying they're not going to judge you, but there's always that fear that you're going to be judged as a pregnant single person walking through the door. And the first person to greet me was Ellen with this huge smile and a hug. She said, "We are so thankful you're here. We're so happy to meet you." And I wanted to cry right then and there of just relief of how kind all of these people were. Everyone hugged me. Everyone came up and introduced themselves, and they immediately said, "We are so proud of you." And that was an element that I had not figured out yet, that I was proud of myself and proud of my decision. So to have all of these women and strangers walk up and hug me and were so just joyful that I was there and kept saying, "You're so brave," and you know, "We are so proud of you," was so emotional to hear that. And eventually through the 12 weeks taught me that I am proud of myself for making this decision and I am capable of doing it all, but I didn't know that at the time. So when I finally birthed her and she came into the world and I was able to see her and touch her, just fell in love with her. And I think she is the most joyous bundle of little chubby cheek girl I could have ever imagined. And she wakes up with a smile on her face every day and she just loves me. She looks at me like I hung the moon. And I think that every day when I look at her, I can't imagine if I would have gone through with that and I don't wake up to that smile and I don't see her every day and get to experience and live in her joy. I don't know what that would look like for my life. You don't know how many women are truly affected by something like this. I think there's still a lot of stigma behind talking freely about moving forward with an unplanned pregnancy and the other options that could have been taken. And it's expected that, okay, you maintain this pregnancy, now figure it out. And that's not a Christ-centered relationship with fellow people. Like, we need to be behind these women. We need to make sure that they know they are loved and cared for and have a whole community of people, women and men behind them. And I think it tells a lot about the heart of a church as well to have an organization like this.